What is going on, guys? We are back with the official reveal of my Madden 23 teams. I know, a little greedy to take multiple teams, but one of the teams is a little bit better of an overall than the other, which of course will be the online team. It's a team that I had to choose earlier than my offline. My offline team was just chosen by me like maybe a couple of days ago, whereas the online one kind of had to choose like weeks ago, because we were kind of, deciding on, what teams everyone was on to be, because there's obviously 32, users. I wish maybe I would have chose someone a little bit worse off, but there was a lot of content creators still deciding who they were going to be, and I was like, this is going to be a safe bet, and I think so far from what I've seen, I don't think anyone's going to be them, and they are still a team that needs to develop a little bit. They're a team with a lot of potential, and they just haven't lived up to it. Of course, they are a bottom 12 team, I believe. Bottom 15 team, maybe. But of course, that team, without any further ado, for the online franchise, is the Minnesota Vikings, a team that I actually heard a couple of people talking about. Now, I will say there is a bit of talent here, without a doubt. But there is also a lot of players you do have to develop. If you can remove a guy like Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson, this team is a tough team to work with, but because you have those two talents, you are going to have those cornerstone players for the rest of the entire franchise. Of course, Dalvin Cook is a freak in the game. However, I'm not 100% sure what his injury is. He only had a freak injury, and he's kind of been back ever since. Where the hell is the injury rating? Do they 84? So 84 injury, 81 toughness. You could actually see a lot in Nwangwu, which I've never actually used him as a proper running back. Maybe even trade him off for something decently valuable. Harrison Smith, he's going to regress very quickly. Adam Thielen, he's going to regress really quickly. Eric Kendricks may regress quickly. Za'Darius, if he's star development trait, could be gone after year one. Patrick Peterson will be gone after year one. Kirk Cousins is probably not a guy I'm even going to want to start or start at all. And then you could see the overalls drop from there. So a team at its core, you're thinking of those names like Danielle Hunter, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. Those guys are going to be obviously great cornerstone pieces, but you still do have to develop a lot of other players. This is one of our better starting rosters, going, from other Madden franchises, specifically online, but I don't think it's the best. I actually don't even think it's maybe like not even the third best, maybe not even the fourth best. It might be like the fifth best team. Because remember, we did the Falcons when they were a really solid team. When Devontae Freeman was there, Matt Ryan was decent, still had Julio, Deion Jones, a bunch of guys. We did the Chargers. They were definitely better. The Cowboys were definitely better. I would maybe argue Miami was better because you had two superstar corners that you had for the entirety of the franchise. You had a franchise quarterback that was star dev that you could work with. Two is a little iffy, I'll admit. But, in this one, likely going to be looking to start Kellen Mond, but I think Kellen Mond's like 23 now, and I maybe am going a little bit too low. I'm not. He's a 64 overall, and that's probably who I'm going to be starting. Is once again, Kirk Cousins. The verdict is still up on him. I think he maybe gets a little bit of crap IRL versus, I can't believe I just said IRL out loud. Jesus, that is embarrassing. I think he gets a little more crap than he probably deserves. But as far as a franchise goes in Madden, he can't be my guy. So as far as like a realism franchise goes, I'm not sure how realistic it'll be, because in real life, the Vikings seem to be pretty content with Kirk Cousins. And honestly, Kellen Mond, I don't even know if he can win against, the third string quarterback in Minnesota. So I don't know if he'll ever see the field as a starter, which we're probably going to put him out there right away. We might let guys like Adam Thielen or Harrison Smith go very quickly. Same with Eric Kendricks. I like Kendricks, but once again, it's about regression. It's about what kind of contracts you're going to have to lock into long term. This will be a next-gen franchise. Both franchises are going to be on next-gen, so none of that, that poverty crap. Not to be fair, I am probably going to miss last-gen a little bit for the online league, because change of direction, it is a problem. Of course, that's kind of, that for this online franchise. We'll go more into the actual roster when, we actually have our hands on the game and we're actually in the franchise and we're starting episode 1. We'll show the lineup and all that, and, it'll be a great time. As of right now, it's kind of hard for me to, kind of judge where this roster is, because we don't know the devs. That's one of the big factors is, is Brian Asamoah a star dev? Is Ed Ingram star? Nwangwu will be normal, but, some of these guys that are youngsters, are they going to be star? Are they going to be unlikely, but superstar? Maybe Lewis Cine, they really believe in him because he's got pretty good ratings. Maybe he's a superstar. I don't know. Maybe they put him only at normal. I'm not 100% sure, so the roster will shake up based on that. Of course, this team's cornerbacks are also very, very slow, so that could be a huge problem for us. Maybe a little bit of potential in the DB department, but a lot of lacking in speed and some decent age. So I think it's one of those, it's an average team, just like the ratings kind of say. I think they're like the 11th worst team based on overall, which I can kind of see. So we might have to draft QB still. I mean, there's a lot to work on with this team, but once again, you have a few cornerstone pieces. I think as far as a safe team to go with for an online league to be able to compete, but also still build, I think it's a pretty good roster. I think this is one of those good online franchise teams, in my opinion at least. And then, of course, before we go to the offline team, which I think a lot of people are going to like, hopefully not a lot of content creators use this team, as I was, DMing a few, and, I kind of got their verdicts, and they weren't going to choose this team, even though they were close on it. Maybe think about leaving a like, maybe thinking about subscribing. We're going to do a ton of franchise stuff in Madden 23. If there's any, indicator, the fact that I'm constantly uploading franchise videos for Madden 22 when Madden 23 is that close, I think that's a good indicator, right? Mainly because I want to actually finish that Nighthawks franchise, which, playoff video came out earlier today, most likely. I imagine it's before this video. Did it happen already? Is it over? Who knows? But yeah, if you think about it, and if you're not, and you're a continued supporter, and you're like, hey, I can't wait for this next franchises, really appreciate your continued support. And let's get on to the offline team, which is gonna be the Seattle Seahawks, a team that a lot of people were suggesting. I mean a lot, and I'm not even just talking about, you guys that watch me. I'm talking about other franchise YouTubers. I've seen so many, people asking what team should they rebuild first. Seahawks were number one. What franchise team should they use? Seahawks. What kind of, any sort of series. It was like the Seahawks was the number one voted on those things. And one of the big reasons why I wanted to choose the Seahawks is because this is probably one of the only times you can actually use them, because they don't have Russell Wilson. I was talking about for a while now, people would suggest to me when they had Russell, can you do a franchise for them? I'm like, they just can't be done when you have an X-Factor quarterback. But now, they obviously don't have that. They lost Chris Carson due to retirement. Quandre Diggs might have got a contract there, but he is not the greatest in the actual game, and he is on the older side. One of the big issues, though, with this team is I feel like a lot of their skill position players are kind of set for them, but thankfully, they are likely going to need a quarterback. Once again, Drew Lock maybe has a little bit of potential, but you're probably going to grab someone. I'm going to be honest, if this team would have grabbed a guy like Malik Willis or Ritter or someone like that, there's no chance I choose this team. I'm just going to be honest with you. But the fact that they obviously need a quarterback is one of the huge draws, and they need a lot of help on the defense and kind of the offensive line. Once again, you look at some of these guys. Gabe Jackson, old-ish. He's not going to ever be a great offensive lineman for us. Al Woods, he's pretty much retirement worthy. Once again, Chris Carson retired. Speaking of, Rashad Penny, he's a backup. Kenneth Walker is definitely the number one. Shelby Harris, what a trade piece. Gone after a year. Sidney Jones, injury prone. Puna Ford, iffy age. And Nwosu, probably too old to become a true great edge. Marquise, obviously not going to last that long. Justin Coleman, not going to last that long. Will Disley, he's backup level. Charles Cross, could be superstar. If he's not, though, it might take him a while to develop. There's a lot of low overalls here, which is why I believe it is the third worst team based on overall. As you can see here, bit of potential with the offense. I will admit, you don't have to worry about running back, more than likely. Wide receiver, for a season or two, you probably don't have to worry about, Tyler Lockett. Noah Fant, the tight end, is a very good player, but still needs to develop. But obviously, you need quarterback, you need O-line, you need D-line. You probably need extra linebackers. For some reason, this team was listed as one of those teams that has a top 5, top 10 linebacker unit. I don't know where they're getting that from. Jordan Brooks is decent, but he's not, they're not that good. I'll tell you what. Corner, I know you do have a lot of youth potential, but Still need some, cornerbacks, maybe free safety, like I said. This is a team that isn't maybe the perfect rebuild team, but you need a quarterback, you need a lot of things, and more importantly, they play in a very tough division. I was very close to choosing the Giants, and once again, the Texans were way up there for me, but I suppose you do have Davis Mills, and I feel like you'd have to pretty much develop the franchise around Davis Mills, and you know me, I love rookie quarterbacks, and the Seahawks, you will have to grab a rookie quarterback, so I like to make a storyline with the quarterback specifically, even though I do think this team has a lot of playmaking guys on offense. They do have enough players that you do need to actually develop and replace positions specifically. So I don't think there was really many better options for a franchise than this team, like I said, other than maybe the Giants, who do have their own skill position players. They got a bunch of wide receivers and Saquon Barkley. And then, of course, the Jets, they have tons of guys that are going to be high dev. I just got scared by a freaking piece of paper flying through. I don't know what the hell that was. But the Jets, I think, have a bunch of skill position players. They're going to be a little bit of a lower overall, but they have a lot of guys that are set in stone as well. Like I said, I think it's getting harder and harder each year with the rookie ratings to choose a franchise team, and this is almost as good as it gets. So I'm hoping you guys are excited for the Vikings online franchise and the Seattle Seahawks offline franchise. We'll have a ton of rebuilds, tons of experiments. I'm going to try the gauntlet. I'm going to try to get back into streaming more on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. And if we do, we're probably going to do a ton of Superstar KO, even though that mode's probably going to be absolutely dead. If it's not, though, maybe we'll play that. If not, it might just be non-Madden stuff over there if we even, once again, get back into stream. But all that'll be in the community tab. I mean, so much content, it's going to kill me. Specifically the first week. I honestly, legitimately, even though it's it's technically great for a content creator, I dread the first day or a couple days because it is such a grind. But you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it, and hopefully you guys are as well. Let me know what you guys think of the team selections. Let me know what kind of positions you guys think we should target for each ones. Which ones should we, what players should we trade off? What players should we trade for? Once again, in the Vikings one, that'll probably be where more of the trades kind of exist. Guys like Nwangwu are going to be sought after. Chandler is going to be sought after. If we trade those guys off, maybe we can get some fun player. I'm not 100% sure, but if you guys have any of those suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. And that is pretty much going to be it. More Nighthawks tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Did we win the playoffs? I don't know. I'm recording this before then, so just saying. Anyways, though, hopefully you guys are here for Monday, Tuesday, whatever day Madden 23 is technically coming out. Apparently there's like some New Zealand, I guess everyone's moving to New Zealand and playing early, you know what I mean? But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!